Let's get rid of the foreign aid. Okay, foreign aid's gone. You got yourself a week.
Anytime that we talk about foreign aid, you will typically hear people that don't know what they're talking about, and it may not be on purpose. It may just be a lack of knowledge and understanding, but they falsely believe that it's a huge amount of the United States budget. It's only 1% of the United States budget, which tells you it's an insignificant amount. For the people that are receiving it in other countries, it is a big deal because they are in poverty. Now, let's switch back to here in the United States. The needs that we have, which are healthcare without question, right? Education, food insecurity is a problem. We know that there is issues with people, children needing to be adopted. We know that things happen such as hurricanes, tsunamis, fires, and many more categories that directly affect all of us and that may affect us from another state. Foreign aid is not keeping those things from being met, those areas of need. It's how there is a mismanagement of money, whether it's Congress, the Senate, whether it's the presidency. The reality is that that's where there's a mismanagement of money. And so what we find is when every time there's a new administration, they're not putting us first. They talk that talk, Democrat and Republicans, but when they get into the White House to lead and to guide and direct funding, all of a sudden what they want to do becomes impossible. They're overwhelmed, and so they want to just go with how things are, and so it's easier for them to keep the status quo. I think getting out of the status quo is really challenging and difficult. And the reason being, for the most part, is you have the presidency, senators, and representatives that have areas, pet projects that are important to them. So once those projects start getting affected as far as losing budget money, all of a sudden they don't like it. Well, no, no. See, but the reason is there's always a good reason for probably most of these projects. There's always going to be not enough money. And anytime that we need to reduce our expenditures, it's always going to hurt. That's the reality true. But there's a right way to go about these evaluations. And whether you're Republican or Democrat in the White House, in being a representative or being in the Senate, there's a right way of saying all of us are going to be affected, and we need to look at this without not about party lines, about the protection of our people, the American people, our citizens, and for the protection of our nation overall.